All right, Shalom to the elect. I want to start by giving all the praises, honor, and glory to whom it rightfully belongs, which is Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Dash. And what I said was all the praises, honor, and glory belongs to Yahweh, who is the Heavenly Father, whom the world ignorantly calls God, in the name of his Son, Yahweh Shai, who is the Messiah, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus, in the name of the Holy Spirit, which is Dash in the Hebrew. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that were well, and who we learn this, they're the ones we learn this truth from. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect. All right, I don't know an exact title of this lesson. I'm gonna name it as just yet, but pretty much this lesson is going into, really prophecy. Okay, pretty much prophecy about, after this coming time of destruction and World War III. All right, what comes next is the kingdom of Israel, all right, and slavery for these heathens. Okay, all this hell chaos is brewing up in the world. And by the way, before I continue with the lesson, I'm gonna say, you know, Salakia, for any background noises you hear, because there's a lot of clocks and stuff around here, or sometimes just the lesson freezes up while I am see, but sometimes the lesson freezes up, or the computer freezes, Salakia, you know, and so I have to restart my computer and come back into the lesson. So if that happens, and I just automatically pause, you see, like, you could tell that the screen froze or that my computer froze, just skip ahead to where I continue to talk again, right? To where I pick up back talking, all right? But yeah, this lesson is going to be we're running about, after this time of chaos and everything that's coming in the world, all right, the next thing is the kingdom of heaven, which is going to entail slavery for the nations, okay? Because right now, because you look at it, it's like I was talking with a brother the other day. I was like, man, look, Trump is already in office now. Okay. It's like we just waiting, for something to happen, pretty much. Okay. You know, we waiting for something to happen. Okay, because it's like right now it's like a calm before a storm, man. Right? Something gotta happen. Some type of something. Okay. So prophecy can, Jacob's trouble and all hell could just break loose. All right. Something gotta happen. Okay. Because that is coming. All right. But we're living in the time of Jacob's trouble about to break out. Okay. We're living in the time of the MOTB being made mandatory. Okay. Or about to be implemented and made mandatory. All right. Which, let me look at that word implemented on my phone real quick. Bear with me 1 second. All right. Implemented. Or implement, rather. Implement means put a decision, plan, agreement, etc. into effect. Yeah. So we living in that, a time where this charagma, the CHIP is about to be about to be put into effect. All right. We're also living in a time of the third woe about to come to pass. Okay. So these are the times that we currently, this is the part of the Lord's movie that we are currently entering into. All right. You see all this chaos and death happening around the world. All right. So, that's the time we're living in. Okay. But after this whole entire you know, after this whole, hell that's coming, all right, it's going to be the kingdom of heaven, a righteous rulership, right, which is a righteous rulership, and the slavery of these heathen nations. Okay, so let's start with this verse. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 8, and verse 13. It says, "And I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, by reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the three angels which are yet to sound." All right. And it says, Woe, woe, woe. Now, woe, okay, let's look at what it means.
Strong's G 3759 Uai. Why?
All right. It says, alas, woe. It says, a primary exclamation of grief. Woe, alas, woe. Okay. Um, Let me look it up in the Old Testament. See if it comes up. All right. Woe, you see, it doesn't, you know, woe, etc. Okay. Let me just look it up. See, First Samuel 4:8. Woe unto us! Who shall deliver us out of the hand of these mighty gods? These are the gods that smote the Egyptians with all the plagues in the wilderness. Now let me look at the word woe here. Okay, just to get not understanding what it means in the Hebrew, awayah, awayah, and it says, "Woe, alas, oh passionate cry of grief or despair." Okay, let me just look it up online, see what it means. What does woe mean? Yeah, woe. It says great sorrow or distress, often used hyperbolically. Things that cause sorrow or distress, trouble, difficulty. So, woe is pretty much sorrow, okay? Trouble, well, it's like not sorrow, but death and destruction, which causes sorrow. But yeah, it's really just death and destruction, okay? So, look, when we go back to Revelation 8, all right, it says, I'm going to read it again, Revelation 8 and 13. And I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, woe, woe, woe. See, which once again, woe just means death and destruction, basically, okay? To the inhabitants of the earth by reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the three angels which are yet to sound. Okay. So why the thing is the angel said woe three times. Okay. And what this represents is the three world wars that are going to that well, two have already passed. Okay. But ultimately three world wars, all right, have been prophesied to happen on the earth. Okay. And once, as I said, two have already passed. We already had World War One and World War Two. So now we're waiting on World War Three. Okay, that's the last woe. And during this woe, Yahweh Shai is going to come back. Okay, you know, this is Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14. It says, "The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly." Yeah, the second world war is past, and behold, the third world war cometh quickly. All right, and that's where you see, all right, in the times, that's coming. Okay, you look at the time, you look at you got a trend. You even see it on social media with people pretty much, or even in the news. Sometimes they'll label it World War III fears. Okay, the thing is, man, these things are going to happen. All right, these things are going to happen. Let me get this scripture. All right, these are the prophets. These are part of the prophecies that are written in the scriptures. Every prophecy, every word in the scriptures, all of these prophecies are gonna all these prophecies of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah are gonna come to pass. All right. This is the book of Ezekiel, Ezekiel the second chapter, right? Jumping down to verse 9. And it says, "And when I looked, behold, an hand was sent unto me, and lo, a roll of a book was therein." Okay. And this represents the scriptures, the Bible. All right. It says, "And he spread it before me, and it was written within and without, inside, outside, on the scriptures are written on, right? You open the Bible, you see pages, and it's written on, right? It says, and there was written therein Lamentations. Okay. Let me look up what Lamentations mean. Quick Google search. Yeah, Lamentation definition. The passionate expression of grief or sorrow, weeping. Okay. Doesn't only mean the book of Slaki. It doesn't only mean the book called Lamentations, but all right, it also means, you know, grief, sorrow, weeping. Okay. So it says, and there was written there in Lamentations and mourning and woe. All right, and these are, pretty, these are, a lot of things what the scriptures contain, what the scriptures talk about. Okay, and right now, as you see, we're talking about the Third World War. Okay, or in other words, the third woe. Okay, and and that's part. And third woe is a part of prophecy. And this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 34, verse 16. Right, and it says, "Seek ye out of the book of the Lord, Yahweh, the book of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, and read, which is the book of the Lord is the Bible, the Old Testament, the Apocrypha, and the New Testament. There's no one of these shall fail." Meaning none of these prophecies in the scriptures are gonna not come to pass. They all gonna happen. None shall want her meet. In other words, you can't make this. You can't make any other book with the Bible. This Bible reigns supreme. You can't put it with the Quran. You can't do none of that. All right. You see, so you want to just read. So that's the thing. The scriptures, man, is why you got to, understand these scriptures. Read out of the Bible. All these other different books, man, they're not gonna really tell you what's to come. Okay, you got to read out of the Bible, man. All right. See, seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. All right, and because the very things written in the Bible are coming to pass. All right, real time as we live in it. Okay, so now I got here on Wikipedia World War III. Okay, now it says here on Wikipedia World War III, right? And why do you think? Here it is. You got the. This is how you know to start with our apostles and elders, a great millstone, and like-minded brothers under them. You know, sincere like-minded brothers under them. All right, actually prophets, man. Because why? When you look at World War III on Wikipedia, it has a picture of a nuclear blast on it. Okay, have not the brothers in Great Millstone have been prophesying years about have not the brothers in Great Millstone been prophesying for years about nuclear war, nuclear destruction? All right. See, so these things are gonna come to pass, man. All right. World War III here on Wikipedia says World War III. It says also known as the Third World War, or World War III, is a hypothetical, right? Which hypothetical, real quick. Hypothetical, it says, of, based on, or serving as a hypothesis, a hypothetical proposition or statement. All right. It says supposed, but not necessarily real or true. All right. It says the meaning of hypothetical is involving or being based on a suggested idea or theory. So pretty much, they're saying, it hasn't really happened yet, but it's a term that hasn't happened yet, but it's based on a certain idea. All right, it says World War III is a hypothetical future global conflict subsequent to World War I and World War II. The first woe and the second woe. All right, it says, and these are described in the Bible as well. It says it is widely assumed that such a war would involve all the great powers like its predecessors, in addition to the use of nuclear weapons or other weapons of mass destruction, thus surpassing all prior wars in geographic scope, devastation, and loss of life. Okay? Because the thing is, in this world, this Third World War, there is going to be nuclear weapons used. Okay? Nuclear missiles are going to be used, all right, during this time of World War III. Okay? This is what's coming. All right. And this is all a part of the prophecies of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. All right. And the Lord is the one that, had it that these nuclear missiles were created. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 16. All right. And it says, the Lord speaking to the prophet Isaiah says, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. Okay, so the Lord pretty much put it on the mind of these scientists, these Edomite scientists, to create these nuclear weapons. Okay, because man ain't gonna do it of his own self. The Lord is the one that got to, give you the knowledge on how to do these things. All right, these weapons are a part of prophecy. Okay, And this is why, um, you know, this is why I think Albert Einstein was the one to say World War III is going to, it's like World War IV is going to be fought with sticks and stones. Okay. But there will be no World War IV. All right. Because it's going to be peace in the kingdom. But let me get this now. I don't want nothing to slip me. I don't want nothing to slip my mind. Well, okay, why do you have my smell shot? Because it came back. Joel chapter 2, starting in verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet of Zion, and sound the alarm on my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. So the day of the Lord is when Yahweh Shai returns and the nuclear missiles are launched, they're shot off. That's the day of the Lord. All right, the scriptures say, for it is nigh at hand. Okay. And recently, here in 2025, you had this, and I mean they've done stuff with it before in prior years, but you have what's known as the doomsday clock, which now it moved up a second. Last year it was at 90 seconds to midnight. Now, 2025. Okay, wait on 1 second. What the fuck? All right, you know what? I don't know why it's doing this, but you could just look it up. All right, the doomsday clock is now at 89 seconds to midnight. Okay, and they said doomsday pretty much, represents the pretty much they say the end of humanity, but as we know, there will not be an end of humanity. Okay, that's not in the Bible. All right. But Joel 2 and 1. Let me just look up. I'm just curious to see what it says online about what is the day of the Lord. All right. It says in the Bible, this is AI overview. In the Bible, the day of the Lord refers to a prophesied time when God will bring judgment upon the wicked and ultimately to restore the world. And so restore the world, one, you could say restore the world to Israel. Okay. Let me just bring up another tab real quick now that I've said that. All right. I want to just keep this up here. Go into this. All right. But it says a prophesied time when God will bring judgment upon the wicked and ultimately restore the world, often associated with the second coming and restore the world. All right, because restore the Israelites, because we understand the word world. All right. And we understand the word world doesn't only mean the whole entire earth. Okay. It can also mean, let's look it up, man. All right, because because I be trying to say it exact, like we're trying to put it like a certain way, but sometimes we fumbling over my words. But anyway, you look up world definition on Google, there's the second bulletin, and you look under the second definition for it. Right here it says the people, places, and activities to do with a particular thing. Okay, a group of living things. The animal, so it says the animal world, So the world, all right, restoring the world, really restoring the world of the Israelites, the Israelite world. Okay, because we're gonna go into power after this whole chaos and everything happens. Yahweh Shai is coming. He's going to set up the kingdom of heaven on earth, which is going to be the kingdom of the kingdom of heaven is going to be for the Israelites, man. We're going to be the ones ruling in power, okay, over the world. We're going to be the world superpower, all right? No other nation, only the nation of Israelites, okay, the nation of Israel, okay? But it says, often associated with the second coming of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, yeah, because as it says in let me get that real quick now. That's a good one to bring up real quick. Get that real quick. This is Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 8. It says, therefore wait ye upon me, saith Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey. But my determination, so we gotta wait on the Lord. See, therefore wait ye upon me. You gotta wait for Yahweh Shai to return, man. Okay. That's when this devil is going to get paid back. That's when these nations are going to go down. Until then, you can't do nothing. So it doesn't make sense to try to form some type of group, some type of to take down the so-called white man. All right, we ain't gonna do that. We're gonna wait on the Lord. All right, because when Yahweh Shai comes back, it's literally game over. Ain't nobody taking down Yahweh Shai, man. Isaiah 47:3 tells you that he won't meet. He's not going to visit as a man. Okay, he's coming back as an angelic, unstoppable force. All right, that this devil is not going to be able to beat, man. All right, but the day of the Lord says, often associated with the second coming of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, signifying a day of both punishment for the unrighteous and salvation for the faithful. Yeah, because pretty much, you know, what's coming, you're gonna have that nuclear destruction. Okay, you're gonna have, well, yeah, that nuclear destruction. That's gonna be punishment for the unrighteous. Okay, that second death. All right. Let me see if I can pull that up. Uh, well, they're gonna be in that lake of fire. All right, I'm gonna just say it like that. Okay, let me get back. It says, "And salvation for the faithful," because Yahweh Shai is coming back. He's gonna beam up his elect from all over the world. It says it's described as a day of great upheaval and cataclysm. Let me look these words up here. Upheaval and cataclysm. That's something. Look that up. Upheaval definition. It says a violent or sudden change or disruption of something. All right, let me look up the word cataclysm now. Cataclysm definition. It says a large-scale violent event in the natural world. This is what's coming. The Lord is going to bring judgment on the earth, man. Okay, the Lord is about to bring judgment on the world. All right, bear with me 1 second. I'm just gonna actually hold on. Let me look at that again. Described as a great day of upheaval and cataclysm with imagery of darkness, natural disasters, and divine wrath. Yeah, that's coming. And even before the day of the Lord, that specific day is going to be just straight all out chaos in the world. All right, that is that pale horse riding, man. It's Revelation chapter 6, verse 4. It says, uh, start from verse 3, Revelation 6, start from verse 3. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, "Come and see." And there went out another horse. Oh no, not red horse. Salaki. Revelation 6 and 8. Start from verse 7. Revelation 6, start from verse 7. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, "Come and see." And I looked, and behold, a pale horse. All right. And as Apostle Tahar was saying, this pale horse, all right, is spoken about in the book of 2nd Ezra 15 and 16 as well. All right. It says, "And behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell," meaning the grave, "followed with him." All right. It says, "And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth." And this represents Jacob's trouble, okay, which we're about to come into. All right. But in the midst of Jacob's trouble, all right, Yahweh Shai is going to return, okay, and deliver the elect of Israel. Okay. So, I actually like this definition, all right, of the day of the Lord, but they got the wrong name in here. All right. Yahweh Shai, the so-called black man from the tribe of Judah, all right, is going to return. He's going to crack the clouds. He's going to return on that day, okay, and deliver the elect. And as far as when that day is, that exact day, when we see, we don't know exactly when it's going to happen, right? Yahweh Shai don't even know when it's going to happen, okay? But we do know certain prophecies and things to look out for, all right? That tell us that that day is near. This is Mark. Bear with me 1 second. Mark chapter 13, starting in verse 32. It's in red letters, meaning Yahweh Shai himself said it. It says, "But of that day and that hour, when Yahweh Shai returns, knows no man, no, not the angels which are in heaven, neither the Son, but the Father." Okay, so man doesn't know when that day is. That when that day is, no angel knows when that day is, nor Yahweh Shah himself knows when that day is. Only the Most High Yahweh knows that exact day and time that Yahweh Shai is going to return. He only knows when that day is. That's something he kept in his own power. Okay? You know? So we know different prophets. We understand that we see certain when we see things happen, we understand his return is near. Bear with me 1 second. All right. Now going back to Joel 2, getting back to the point of these nuclear missiles, right? So Joel 2, the last part of it again, and the last part of the first verse. For the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. All right, the point is in the second verse. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. There hath not been ever the like. And this people is talking about the nuclear missiles. Okay, I'm gonna go into Revelation 9. Just for repetition's sake, and really, well, first advocation's sake, but it's good to go over things. Right, Revelation chapter 9, starting in verse 16. Right, it says, "And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them, and these represent nuclear missiles. Okay, not literal horsemen. It says, and thus I saw the horses in a vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire and of jacinth and brimstone. Okay, it says, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire, smoke, and brimstone. It's talking about the nuclear warheads. All right, verse 18. By these three was the third part of men killed, which the third part of men is talking about Esau, the so-called white man, because you have three classifications of man: the sons of God, the sons of man, and the sons of the wicked. All right, and the wicked is who? The so-called white man. All right, but namely, the beast, NATO, EU. All right, America. I said, by these three was the third part of men killed by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouths. For their power is in their mouth. All right, which is the warheads, right, and in their tails, okay, which is the delivery system of the whole ICBM missile itself. All right, you know, that the back part. All right, under the warhead, right? It says, for their tails were like on the serpents and had heads, and with them they do hurt. This describes a nuclear missile. This doesn't describe a horseman. All right. So Joel 2 is talking about these great people and the strong is talking about nuclear missiles. It says there have not been ever the like, right? Neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. So, meaning these nuclear missiles are going to be made. These nuclear missiles are made to be used one time, and after that, never again. Okay. Somebody would say, I was talking to somebody about them, and they said, they were pretty much saying that the uh the missiles, they like they were pretty much saying like nuclear war would destroy the whole earth. No, it wouldn't. All right, because that's not prophecy. Okay, but so the nuclear missiles are going to be used. So going back here, World War One. So we know that. So it says World War Three. All right, would include um nuclear warfare. And this picture says uh, it says over here, nuclear warfare is a common theme in hypothetical World War Three scenarios. Okay, and this is prophesied about in the Bible too. Those mushroom clouds, like a scroll rolled together. Okay, it looks like a scroll rolled together. All right, it's Revelation 6 and Isaiah 34. All right, as well. Okay, but going back, right? What else did it say? Uh, it says, in addition to the use of nuclear weapons or other weapons of mass destruction, right? It says, thus surpassing all prior wars in geographic scope, devastation, and loss of life. So this pretty much would surpass, the different, wars of the past. Okay, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 9 and verse 5. Okay, it says, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. Okay, because in the ancient world, you had, for example, let me pull up this show. You would have, wars will be fought like this. Okay, people standing on the field. Okay, swords, fighting each other. All right. Okay, swords. It's like yourself, swords fighting each other with swords. Banging against shields, etc. People screaming, literally garments rolled in blood. Okay, but this world, this third world war that's coming. All right, it says, but this third world war shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Okay, so this third world war is going to be is going to involve nuclear weaponry, nuclear missiles. Okay, this is what's coming. All right, this is in the scriptures. All right, and the thing is, you know, this day is prophesied to come. Okay, it's going to be used on the day of the Lord. All right, and for anyone thinking that, okay, what if it does? This might destroy the whole earth. Well, scriptures say here in Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 4, right? It says, one generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. Okay, the earth is always going to be here. Okay, and even when you look at prophecy, all right, it talks about this earth being here. Okay, that's what it talks about. It doesn't talk about a new planet Earth coming. It doesn't talk about the entire world burning up. That's not what it's talking about, man. All right. And before I move on, I just want to type this in. What would nuclear devastation look like? All right. I believe I actually went into this. So yeah, I'm not even going to that, again, but pretty much nuclear devastation, a nuclear missile that would blow up literally, that would destroy literally everything around. Okay, it could wipe out a couple cities. And the thing is, as we read in Revelation 9, it said 200,000, which is 200 million. And we know that's talking about nuclear warheads. So 200 million nuclear warheads are prophesied to destroy America. So the Lord is going to wipe this place off the earth. All right. But moving on, right? Once again, it said in World War III, right? It is widely assumed that such a war would involve all the great powers like its predecessors. Now, what is a great power? All right. The thing about Wikipedia is certain words are highlighted in blue. So when you hover over it, you can click it, all right, and go into what it is talking about. So great power, okay. What is a great power here? It says a great power is a sovereign state, all right, that is recognized as having the ability and expertise to exert its influence on a global scale. Now, jumping down here, right, it says while some nations are widely considered to be great powers, there is considerable debate on the exact criteria of great power status. Historically, the status of great powers has been formally recognized in organizations such as the Congress of Vienna in 1814 to 1815, where the United Nations Security Council, of which permanent members are China, France, Russia, the United Kingdom, and the United States. Okay, but the point I wanted to get, how Russia is considered a great power. And according to Ezekiel, the 38th chapter and 39th chapter, Russia is going to be Russia is going to you know, Russia is going to be involved in this third world war. They have a role to play. Russia has a role to play within this third world war. Okay. So I'm gonna get that because this is gonna lead into this is gonna lead into you know, after, okay, after all this hell, all right, comes, okay, after all of this, you know, after all these, the coming hell, the nuclear missiles, World War III, and everything, okay, Jacob's trouble, that's what I'm about to talk. When I say it's gonna lead into it, this is what I when I say it's gonna lead into it, and this is I was gonna talk about it, all right, after I pull Ezekiel 38 and everything, all right. So now Ezekiel chapter 38, starting in verse 1. It says, "And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying," it says prophecy about Gog and future invasion of Israel. "Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against them." All right, now, um, Gog is talking about the Russians. Because when you look on an ancient map, right? Um, ancient map of Gog. Okay. Ancient map of Gog. For example, this one right here, right? Gog, Magog. Okay. You look here, okay, you see in the area Russia is where it says Magog, is where it says Magog. Okay. That's where, Gog, you know, was at. All right. So Russia's talking about the, Gog. All right. Look at this one. Oh wait. No, I'm not here yet. Salakia. Ezekiel 38 and 2. Son of man. Okay, I read that part. Verse 3, it says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth. So turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, meaning, all right, that the Lord is going to put Russia back into that warlike spirit, all right, where they used to be. Okay. It says, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. So Russia, okay, is going to pretty much majority of Russia's army, all right, is gonna go to fight in the Valley of Jehoshaphat during the Third World War. Okay, you see, and not only them. Verse 5, it says Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them. So these are going to be allies of Russia. So all of them with shield and helmet. And Persia, if you don't know, all right, Persia is Iran. Persia is, all right, is modern day Iran. Okay. Um, what is Persia today? It says here Persia is now Iran, an Islamic Republic in West Asia. The term Persia was used for centuries to refer to the region that is now Iran. So Persia, all right, is Iran. Okay, so these different countries or nations, they're going to be allied with Russia in this Third World War. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them. All of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Tergama, the North Quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. All right, so these nations are going to be, these nations are going to, be allied with Russia for this Third World War. This is the book of Joel, because World War III going to happen, man. Joel chapter 3, starting in verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, meaning when the Lord is going to deliver us, in the time the Lord is going to deliver us out of captivity, he's going to do something. So what is he going to do? So I'm read it again. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people Israel and for my heritage. It's like if I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Okay, so really, World War III is happening. The Lord is starting World War III because of us. Okay, for what happened to us, what these nations have done to His people, the Israelites, so-called Negroes, West Indians, Haitians, Latinos, Native American, and Seminole Indians. All right, the Lord is starting World War III. All right, because for what they've done to us. All right, and Jehoshaphat means the valley of Yahweh's judgment. Okay, Jehoshaphat pretty much means, yeah, I said valley, but Jehoshaphat just means in the Hebrew it's Yahweh Shaphat, which means Yahweh's judgment. Okay, that's what Jehoshaphat means, Yahweh's judgment. Okay, because it has a name of the Lord, and then it has judge in it. See, Strong's H3092, Yahweh Shaphat. All right. And you see the etymology is our apostles. There's a great millstone tell us to look up words and things. I ain't gonna click it, but you can see the name of the Lord here is Yahweh, and then it says here Shaphat. Okay. You see it says Yahweh is judged. Ain't no, it's not Jehovah. That's not the name of the Lord, as we know. Okay, but it's according to the prophecies. All right, which we're gonna read, Lord willing. All right, you can see why it's called that. All right, it says, and the Lord said He's going to plead with them, with these nations there for my people, and the Lord going to judge them. Because you look at this word plead, it goes into that word Shabbat. All right. Well, it's the Hebrew word Shabbat, and it says to judge, govern, vindicate, punish. Okay. Yeah. You know. So in 1 second here. All right. Lock you. Bear me just 1 second. So yeah, it's pretty. It's called the Valley of Jehoshaphat. All right, for you know, because the Lord is going to, the Lord going to bring judgment on it. All right, judgment on these nations that He brings down to that land. See what He say? Going to gather all nations. Now I'm going to jump down from here to verse 9. It says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, the heathens, the heathen nations. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up." See, so look, these heathen nations, man, they gonna get ready for they're getting ready for this World War III. Verse 10: "Beat your plowshares and the swords and your pruning hooks and the spears." Meaning because a plowshare and a pruning hook is a weapon. It's like an instrument of agriculture. Swords and spears are instruments of war. So what it's saying is these nations are using the money that they would spend on agriculture. All right, they're taking that money, all right, and using it for nuclear weaponry. Okay, pretty much. It says, "Let the weak say I'm strong." So the insignificant nations, they now have nuclear weapons. All right. Verse 11: "Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh." Verse 12: "Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes, meaning the world armies, in the valley of decision, the valley of Jehoshaphat. For the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision." Okay, so this is coming, man. You're getting real close to it. Each day, second, minute, hour that passes by, we getting close to it, man. So let me jump down, okay? So Ezekiel 38, I'm gonna jump down to the point now in Ezekiel 38, Ezekiel chapter 38, starting in verse 18. All right. And it says, and it shall come to pass at the same time when Gog shall come against the land of Israel. See, and it's going to be a majority of the it's going to be the majority of of Russia's army that's going to fight. A small remnant is going to be left at Russia to protect the homeland. And here's the proof of that. Ezekiel 39, starting at verse 1. Therefore, thou son of man, prophesy against Gog, Russia, and say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, against thee, Russia, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back. If you read, the Lord will put him back in that warlike spirit. It says, and leave but the sixth part of thee. See? And will cause thee to come up from the north parts, because Russia is north of the land of Israel. So they're going to come into the land of Israel from the north. Right? It says, and will bring thee upon the mountains of Israel. But it says, leave but the sixth part of thee. Okay? See, they're going to, so the majority of Russia's army is going to go into the land of Israel for World War III. But a small remainder is going to be left at Russia to protect the homeland. Okay? So let's read back in Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. We'll come back to Ezekiel 39 in a minute, Lord willing. Ezekiel 38 and 18 says, and it shall come to pass at the same time when Gog shall come against the land of Israel, said the Lord Yahweh, that my fury shall come up in my face. For in my jealousy and the fire of my wrath have I spoken. Surely in that day there shall be a great shaking in the land of Israel. Okay, and that great shaking is talking about nuclear destruction. Verse 20. Because remember, the scriptures say the earth is a reel to and fro like a drunkard. Okay, the nuclear missiles are going to cause the earth to shake. All right, verse 20 it says, so that the fishes of the sea and the fowls of the heaven and the beasts of the field and all creeping things that creep upon the earth and all the men that are upon the face of the earth shall shake at my presence, and the mountains shall be thrown down, and the steep places shall fall, and every wall shall fall to the ground, including that. It also means that Great Wall of China, as the apostle Ramlab, I believe, had said. Ramlab had said, I believe he said that. Let me just type it up. Great Wall of China. Okay. You know, this big ass wall. When them nuclear missiles rock the earth, this shit coming down. All right. You know, it's coming down like a ladder. All right. Let me see where that's actually located. It's located in China, of course, but east of India, pretty much. Okay. You know, but yeah. So verse 21 says, "And I will call for a sword against him throughout all my mountains," say the Lord Yahweh. "Every man's sword shall be against his brother, and I will plead against him with pestilence and with blood, and I will rain upon him and upon his bands," talking about upon the army of Russia, okay, and his bands, you know, and upon the many people that are with him, the allies. Remember, that's going to be allied with him. This is why you see Iran and Russia, you know, linking up pretty much. Okay, it's prophecy. It says, "And upon the many people that are with him, an overflowing rain, and great hailstones, fire and brimstone." You see. So, and this is talking about the nuclear missiles. And they're going to be in the land of Israel. So that even shows you that the land of Israel is going to get nuked. Okay. America's going to get nuked, and the land of Israel is going to get nuked. Right? Ezekiel 38 and 23. Thus will I magnify myself and sanctify myself, and I will be known in the eyes of many nations, and they shall know that I am Yahweh. You see? All right. So let me get a precept to that. All right. This is built because I know this lesson is about the nations after this going into slavery, after this coming chaos going into slavery. But You know, this is all part of it. Okay, because before the slavery, all hell gonna break loose. There's gonna be war on the face of the earth. Okay. Um. All right, so this is what I'm talking about at first. So I mean, it makes sense. Revelation chapter 20 and okay, Revelation chapter 20, starting in verse 8. It says, "It shall go out to the seed nations which are on the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, which is Russia, to gather them together to battle. The number of whom is as the sand of the sea." And it calls Russia, it says that as the sand of the sea because it's a big army that they're going to come with during the time of World War III, right? And it says, "And they went up on the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints about." Now the camp, right? It says the camp of the saints, right? Who are the saints? The Israelites. So their camp, all right, it says parambole, in Greek for that word camp, but it says an encampment, the camp of Israel in the desert. It says used for the city of Jerusalem as much as that was to the Israelites, well, formerly the encampment had been in the desert, but pretty much it's the land of Israel, all right? That's what it's talking about. I mean, that's according with prophecy as we just read. And see, they even gave you the precept up here, Ezekiel 38 and 39, which we're reading. Okay. So this is a precept. So that cuts vocab alone. Okay, because how are you gonna say we're doing Hebrew hopscotch? All right, when they even give you precepts up here. All right, because the scriptures talk about the same thing. Okay. Vocab is a fucking idiot, man. All right, but it says, "And they went up on the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints about and the beloved city, which is Jerusalem. And fire came down from the Most High out of heaven and devoured them." The fire came down from God out of heaven and devoured them. And that, okay, is talking about the nuclear missiles, right? And Shalakia. Yeah. When the nuclear missiles, all right, you can also say when Yahweh Shai comes back, because Yahweh Shai is going to come back in the midst of World War III. Okay. You see, he's going to come back in the midst. All right. That's, I want to get some more in Ezekiel. Okay. So we read, the main parts when we read Ezekiel 38, now Ezekiel 39. Right. It says, so we read that. All right. Read verse 2 again. It's talking about Russia. It says, "And I will turn thee back and leave but the sixth part of thee." Lord's going to put Russia back in that warlike spirit. He's going to have majority of the army come up into the land of Israel to fight in World War III. It says, "I'm going to cause you to come up from the north parts and will bring thee upon the mountains of Israel." Right? It says, "And I will smite thy bow out of thy left hand and will cause thine arrows to fall out of thy right hand." All right. The Apostle Rambam had done a breakdown of this chapter. You could go check that out. Right, but verse 4 says, "Thou shalt fall upon the mountains of Israel, thou and all thy bands and the people that is with thee." So so Russia and its allies, they're going to come into the land of Israel for World War III. It says, "I will give thee unto the ravenous birds of every sort, and to the beasts of the field to be devoured." Okay, so you see, look, even though the Lord is going to use Russia to come into the land of Israel for World War III, the Lord ain't with him. Okay. You see what the Lord has a judgment proclaimed on that on that army to Russia, and the allies to happen. The Lord has a judgment set up to happen for them out there. Okay, the Lord say going to give them unto the ravenous birds of every sort, and to the beasts of the field to be devoured. Okay. Um, Verse 5, it says, "Thou shalt fall upon the open field, for I have spoken it, saith the Lord Yahweh." All right. Let me just flip back to it real quick. So, okay. So yeah, Lord gonna bring destruction on Russia and its armies. Okay, you know, they're gonna fall upon an open field out there. All right, and this is why it says the valley of Yahweh's, the valley of Jehoshaphat, the valley of Yahweh's judgment. Okay, the valley of Yahweh's Shaphat. Verse 6 says, and I will send a fire on Magog. See, in Ezekiel 38, we read about that same fire. It says, and among them that dwell carelessly in the isles, and they shall know that I am Yahweh. You see? It says, so will I make my holy name known in the midst of my people, Israel, and I will not let them pollute my holy name anymore, and the heathen shall know that I am Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel, the Holy One in Israel, right? So, when the so pretty much, when the Lord does this, brings this destruction we're talking about, all right, that is going to, the name of the Lord, all right, you know, pretty much the name of the Lord and the respect that comes with it is going to be worldwide, okay? It's going to flow worldwide, man, okay? We're all going to magnify his name doing this, okay? Verse 8, behold, it is come and it is done, saith the Lord Yahweh. This is the day whereof I have spoken, okay? So World War III is going to happen, okay? Now, the thing is, right, before moving on, while World War III is happening, okay, in the midst of that, Yahweh Shai is coming back. All right. In the midst of World War III, Yahweh Shai is going to make his second return to this world. The one whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. All right, whose real name is we here, Great Millstone and like-minded brothers have been telling you people that the Messiah's name is Yahweh Shai, not Jesus. All right. And the Messiah, Yahweh Shai, all right, HaMashiach, which Ha means the, Mashiach means anointed. So Yahweh Shai, HaMashiach, Yahweh Shai the anointed, right? He is a so-called black man from the tribe of Judah, all right, of the nation of Israel. And the tribe of Judah are the source, are the so-called Negroes, okay, so-called African Americans, all right, you know. And when he comes back, he's coming to set up his kingdom on this earth, on this world, all right? And his kingdom is going to last forever and is going to dominate the heathen nations, all right? And it's going to be a righteous rulership, man. That's what we've been telling you people out there, all right? We've been, let me look at that word herald, because I remember brothers have been talking about it before, all right? Herald definition. It says, an official messenger bringing news, a person or thing viewed as a sign that something is about to happen, all right? Be a sign that something is about to happen. Announce, right? But yeah, an official messenger bringing news. All right, we've been prophesying and heralding the return of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach to this world. All right, we were letting it be known that he's coming back. And when he comes back, man, he ain't coming to play. Ain't no games to be played. All right, when he comes back, that's he's coming back for business. Okay, but so now let me get this. This is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 13. This is why, man, look, this is why, you gotta get to know these scrolls, man. All right. I'm not saying, no pride, but why wouldn't you want to know? This is the world moves according to prophecy. Okay. But this is Second Ezra chapter 13, starting in verse 1, right? And it says, and it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea that had moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man, which is talking about Yahweh Shai, waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, which is talking about the angels, right? It says, and when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. So he was saying when Yahweh Shai returns, the world is going to be in great fear when he returns. Verse 4, And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it filleth the fire. Now let's talk about, the laser from the chariot, burning stuff up. Verse 5, right? And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. All right. Now the thing is, okay, you might be wondering, well, you say Yahweh Shai, he's gonna make his second return to the world, but it say he coming from the sea. I thought he was gonna come from heaven. Yeah, he's coming from heaven. Okay, literally he's coming from heaven. Okay, but it says the sea here. You know why? Because when you go to Genesis, right? You go to Genesis, the first chapter. Okay, you jump down. It's just talking about the creation, right? A record of the creation. Genesis 1, starting in verse 6. And it says, "And the power said, let there be a," because you might be wondering why I said powers, because in the Hebrew, this word for God here is Elohim, which Allah means power. All right, and the Yom makes it plural. All right. So, and even when you jump down to verse 26 in Genesis 1, it says, let us make man in our image. All right. So it's talking about, so it goes to show it wasn't the Heavenly Father himself, all right, that made the world. Okay. When I say that, meaning he wasn't the one literally, by himself just putting it all together. He gave his son Yahweh Shai the blueprint to create the world, and Yahweh Shai was aided by the angels on making the world. All right. So Genesis 1 and 6, and the power said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. Now the firmament is talking about the ozone layer. Okay. Let me just prove that real quick. All right. This is one second. In the Apocrypha, this is the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 43, verse 1. The pride of the height, the clear firmament, the beauty of heaven with its glorious show. But it says the clear firmament. Okay. Now, just quick Google search. Is the ozone layer clear? Right. It says, no, the ozone layer is not clear in the sense that it is invisible. While you cannot see it with the naked eye. Wait, Slocky, let me read it again. It says, no, the ozone layer is not clear in the sense that it is invisible. While you cannot, while you cannot see it with the naked eye, it acts as an invisible shield protecting Earth from harmful UV radiation. But, all right, but it said, no, the ozone layer is not clear in the sense that it is invisible. All right, but it's basically clear, okay? But you can't see, because you can't see with the naked eye, okay? But it says it acts as an invisible, but it's there though, you can't see with the naked eye, so it's clear, okay? It acts as an invisible shield protecting Earth from harmful UV radiation. It is considered to be slowly recovering from past depletion, meaning it is still partially depleted in certain areas as the ozone hole, right? Which is not visible. See, you cannot see the ozone layer with the naked eye. It's clear. Okay. All right. The ozone layer visible. The ozone layer acts as an invisible shield and protects us from harmful ultraviolet UV radiation from the sun. The ozone layer is the firmament. Okay. Ecclesiasticus 43 and 1. The pride of the height, the clear firmament, the beauty of heaven was the glorious show. So Genesis 1 and 6, it says, and the power said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. Now, this word waters here really should be Shemayim, but it just says Mayim. Okay. See, it says waters Mayim. water is sea. But what it's really referring to is our atmosphere and the atmosphere in outer space. Okay? Or the firmament, the ozone layer separates our atmosphere, okay, here in the earth from the atmosphere in outer space. All right. That's why verse 7 says, and the powers made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament, our atmosphere, right? Where, enclosed, under this firmament, right? Under the firmament, right? It says from the waters which were above the firmament, which is the outer space atmosphere. It says, and it was so. And the powers called the firmament heaven. And the evening and the morning were the first, slack. And the evening and morning were the second day, which is the second 1,000 years of creation. Second 1,000 year of creation. Second 1,000. So, yeah. All right. Because it wasn't literal days. The day to the Lord is as 1,000 years. Okay. And we look at this word heaven here, right? Strong's H8064. The Hebrew word here is shemayim. See, shemayim, which means of or pertaining to waters, the waters. But it says heaven, heaven, sky, visible heaven, sky, as abode of the stars, you see? Because you have three heavens. Our heaven, which is the first, our heaven is the first heaven, okay? Which is, the atmosphere we live in. Then you got the second heaven, all right, which is, let me get a picture of it, all right? The heavens in the Bible, okay? All right, so let me just see if I can get this picture full screen real quick. All right, no, I'm gonna just zoom into it then. Oh, Salakia. Bear with me just 1 second. All right, let me just zoom in. Okay. Pretty much, we got the first heaven, which is our atmosphere. Then the second heaven, okay, which is outer space. And then the third heaven, as Apostle Paul had described, all right, the third heaven is the spirit world, where the Heavenly Father literally dwells at. All right. So the firmament separates our heaven, okay, from the second heaven, which is outer space. Separates our atmosphere from the outer space atmosphere. Okay, that's what it does. All right. So where you see it referred to it as waters, you see, because what's in the air? What's in the atmosphere? Moisture. Okay. So when you read here in Second Ezra, tying it all back in, you read it here in Second Ezra 13. It says to subdue the man that came out of the sea. It's talking about Yahweh Shai is going to come, from outer space. He's going to be traveling through outer space into this world, into our atmosphere. Okay, doesn't mean he's literally going to come up out of the Pacific or Atlantic Ocean or something like that. All right, but reading the scripture again, 2 Ezra 13:5, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. So what this means is when Yahweh Shai does make his second return, these nations, okay, they're going to be, it's going to be in the midst of World War III, all right? But these nations, they're going to band up and try to fight Yahweh Shai when he returns, all right? They're going to try to subdue him. Okay, that's why in Revelation, the scriptures talk about the same thing, man. All right. Let me get this real quick. Okay. Revelation chapter 17 and started verse 12. All right. This goes into the right here is going into the 10 horns, all right, which is talking about the European Union, EU. Revelation chapter 17, starting in verse 12, it says, "In the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast." All right. The 10 horns, once again, because the European Union, it started out with 10 nations. All right. But now it's more. But originally it started out with 10 nations. So these have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Okay. Well, pretty much, they're gonna give their power and strength unto the beast. You know, they're gonna give their power and strength to the NATO, which is the beast. All right. They will, they're gonna pretty much if for example, if NATO goes to war, they're gonna go to war. All right. But verse 14, it says, "These shall make war with the Lamb." Who is the Lamb? Yahweh Shai. "These shall make war with the Lamb." So how they gonna make war with him, and he's if he's not here? So this is talking about when he comes back. You see, "These shall make war with the Lamb," but what? "And the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings." Okay. It says, "And they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful." See? So when Yahweh returns, they're gonna try to fight him, man. They're gonna lose miserably. Okay, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 19. See, when Yahweh comes back, is the game over, man. They're gonna try to fight him, but how you gonna try to fight the Messiah, man? All right. Revelation chapter 19 and what is it? Verse 19. Yeah. It says, "And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army." Okay. So, you know, this talking about the same thing. They're gonna try to fight Yahweh Shai when he returns. Another precept, Revelation 12 and verse 7. In the Christian church, they totally butchered this verse. They don't understand what it's talking about. It's talking about when Yahweh Shai comes back. Revelation 12, starting in verse 7. "And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not." And the thing is, Yahweh Shai returns. He's gonna have Michael the archangel with him, and the rest of the he's gonna have a whole bunch of angels with him. Okay, it says against the dragon, which is pretty much Esau. Okay, and the dragon fought and his angels, and this ain't talking about literal angels, but it's talking about troops, military men. You know, because like in Revelation 9, it refers to Kaiser Wilhelm as the angel of the bottomless pit. So a man can also be referred to as an angel. You see. But it says, "And prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven." Okay? Bear with me 1 second. you know, but it says, but yeah, they're going to try to fight the Lord, but they're going to lose, man. Okay? All right. Let me get this. Because how are you going to defeat a man that can't even die anymore? Revelation chapter 1, verse 18. It says, "I am he that," let me put it in red letter, showing you how Shai said it. It says, "I am he that liveth and was dead, and behold, I am alive forevermore among, and have the keys of hell and of death." See, Yahweh Shai said he's alive forevermore, so now he's immortal. All right, and when he comes back, he's gonna have that new body. And the thing is, his elect, they delivers, they're gonna have the new body. They're gonna have that same type of body as well. This is the book of Saint John, 1 John chapter 3 and verse 2. It says, "Beloved, now are we the sons of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be, but we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is." We're going to be changed. The one will be of that remnant that gets delivered into that chariot when Yahweh Shai returns. That's how Yahweh Shai is coming back, man, with the chariots, right? And when he makes his return, he's coming back with the chariots. Okay. He actually said, I'm going to get 3 precepts. It's Matthew chapter 24, on the verse 39. Right? No. Starting at verse 29. Salakia. And you see it's subtitled The Glorious Return. Matthew 24, starting at verse 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, which is talking about Jacob's trouble, shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man, Yahushua, coming in the clouds of heaven, which are the so-called UFOs, which are the chariots of Israel, with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. So when he comes back, what thing he's going to do is gather his elect from all over the world. That's one of the things he's going to do. But showing you, all right, he's going to come back with the chariots, so-called UFOs, which are sometimes referred to as clouds in the scriptures. It says, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. All right, just showing you real quick. Sometimes the chariots or so-called UFOs are referenced to as clouds in the Bible. Psalms 104:3 says, "Who layeth?" I'm gonna start at verse 1. It says, to give some context, right? Bless Yahweh, my soul, O Yahweh, my power. Thou art very great. Thou art clothed with honor and majesty. Who coverest thyself with light as with a garment? Who stretches out the heavens like a curtain? Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters? Who maketh the clouds his chariot? See, it talking about so-called UFOs. Who walketh upon the wings of the wind? Because the so-called UFOs, they fly. Okay, they literally fly, man. All right. And now, I actually want to. All right, because it said, "Who walketh upon the wings of the wind?" All right. Now the thing is, okay, somebody might say, "Well, you talk. Well, how do you know that's not a real cloud?" All right. Clouds, real cloud, it also floats in the air. All right. But the ones you have, the type of cloud Yahweh is coming back with, it's not a literal cloud, man. All right. It's a so-called UFO. Let me get another scripture. This is the book of Acts, chapter 1, starting at verse 9. Right. It says, and when he had spoken these things, when Yahweh had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. What cloud? How can a literal cloud receive him out of the sight of the apostles? Okay, because he was talking to his apostles at this point. All right, he got so it ain't talking about literal actual cloud. It's talking about a so-called UFO. He got beamed up. A cloud received him out of there. So look at that word "receive." Just see what it says. Hyperlambano. I wonder what this. I ain't never looked this one up before. Strong's G5274 hoop olambano. This says to take up in order to raise, to bear on high, to take up and carry away, to receive, hospitably welcome, to take up. Okay. Yeah. All right. To raise, to literally beam you up. Okay. That's what happened. That's what happened. And when he was, left, about like 2,000 years ago, she says the ascension. All right. But it says, and while they talking about the apostles, looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel. Okay. 2 men, this is talking about 2 angels, stood by the apostles in white apparel. Verse 11, which also say, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? Why are you looking up? Why are you gazing into heaven? This same Yahushua. All right, because he was a so-called black man when he was walking the earth. He's going to be a so-called black man coming back. We just want to add that in there as well. All right, because it says the same Yahushua, not a different one. The same one that was here 2,000 years ago. All right, it's about to tell him. They're about to tell how he comes back. It says, this same Yahushua, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. So the same way he left is the same way he's coming back. How did he leave? By a chariot, a so-called UFO. And how is he coming back? By many so-called UFOs. All right. Another precept. Revelation chapter 1, verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds. And let me just show you something, right? Because this word cloud here, okay, it's talking about a chariot, not a literal white cloud. Because look, this is the Greek for the word cloud here in Revelation 1 and 7. It says Neph LA, right? And you go down, it's the cloud. And the only thing it says here, it says, used of the cloud which led the Israelites in the wilderness. All right. And that cloud in the wilderness, as it says, and I believe it's Exodus either 13 or 14, it says how that cloud maneuvered. It was maneuvering back and forth. It, removed from in front of the camp of the Israelites to between the camp of the Egyptians and the Israelites. So it maneuvered and it actually did things. And that was a so-called, that's undeniable that was a so-called UFO, man. All right. So he's not. So when he said he'd come back with clouds and everything, he's coming back with the chariots, so-called UFOs, which are chariots of the Lord. And the angels are in those vehicles, man. All right. So when he comes back, right, going back, 2 Corinthians 13, now starting in verse 6, it says, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. So pretty much, lock it. Whoa. Whoa. Shit. Damn. I don't know if the audio picked that up, but damn, I don't know what that was. Salakia. I'm sitting here right now and I just heard something out the window. It sounded like it was soaring through the air just now. I don't know what that was, some type of jet, I don't know what that was. Okay. What it sounded to me, all right, was like a plane about to crash. That's all I could think of. All right. That, and it sounded like a damn, or either that or a missile about to drop just this very second. It happened again. Hold on, Salaki. Hold on. Whoa. Whoa. Salaki, it happened the second time. I don't know if it picked it up, but I don't know what the hell that was, man. Ooh, shit. The first time, because it sounded like it was coming this direction, but I don't know what that was. All right. But when the first time I just heard it, I had to duck a little bit, and I'm in the house. Because it sounded like it was coming close too. You know what I mean? That sounded crazy. I'm gonna have to replay this. I'm gonna look this up and I'll upload this video, Lord willing. All right. But damn, that sounded. Surprised I didn't hear. I'm surprised I didn't hear some type of explosion. I thought that was a plane crashing just now. All right. But it says, going back though, that was crazy. 2 Corinthians 13:6. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. And this great mountain is talking about a chariot. All right. It's referred to as a mountain due to how big it was. Okay. Verse 7. But I would have seen a region or place where the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude, so they were afraid. These nations are going to be afraid to fight him, but they're going to fight him though. The Lord going to put the spirit on them too. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. Okay. So verse 10 it says, but I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had, and he's talking about the chariot, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. It says, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest. So these all three of these were mixed together. All right, and then that's a laser beam. Okay, as in fell with violence upon the multitude. So it fell strong, heavy. Okay, it says it fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. Okay, this was coming. All right, so Yahweh Shai is going to return in the midst of World War III, because the World War is when pretty much, let me just type it in so you can see it. All right, what is a world war? It says a world war is a large-scale international conflict that involves most or all of the major powers across the globe. Okay, that's basically what it is. All right, the whole world is pretty much at war. But this third one, Yahweh Shai is going to, Yahweh Shai is going to come back in the middle of it. And the thing is, World War III is going on. You got to have Jacob's trouble happening. But look, Daniel chapter 12 and start in verse 1. See, it's subtitled The Time of the End. And at that time, which what time? Let's get it. This is the book of Jeremiah 30 and verse 7. Right? It says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. All right? So the time of Jacob's trouble. Daniel 12 and 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. You see, this, and to that time, Jacob's trouble, all right, that's that pale horse riding. It's that pale horse riding. It's Second Ezra chapter 15, 16 coming to pass. Chaos, lawlessness in the street, famine, death, rampant, anarchy, all of that. That's the time of Jacob's trouble. Right now, we in the beginning of it, man. But it has to happen, though. You see, it has to happen. All right, Jacob's trouble has to happen. Okay, for us to get the kingdom. Okay, for us to get into the kingdom, the Lord ain't gonna jump the prophecies. You're not gonna skip prophecy. All right, as it says here, Second Ezra, chapter 4, verse 37. Right, it says, "By measure hath he measured the times, and by number hath he numbered the times. And he," talking about the Lord, "does not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled." So the Lord ain't gonna skip ahead from the prophecies. For example, we're not gonna go from this point we in right now to the kingdom. Okay. Like, for example, we're not gonna go from right here and then, next Yahweh Shai is here. No, we gotta go through MOTB ain't even been made mandatory. All right. You see? So damn, that damn that damn see, I'm calling it a missile. That noise in the air still got me a little shaky a little bit, But back in Daniel 12 and 1. So yeah, the Jacob's trouble, is all out hell breaking loose, man. All of that. Okay, you see these different movies like The Purge and everything like that. Okay, some video games like The Last of Us. Those times are coming. Okay, those times are literally coming. They're right around the corner. All right. You see, but it says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. So when it's time coming, the archangel Michael is going to stand up to protect the elect of the nation of Israel. Okay. It says, and this verse is recorded in not record, but it's pretty much like they put Daniel 12 and 1 in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. When you look up tribulation, it's under the definition, I believe, called the Great Tribulation. It's in the T section. All right, but yeah, you could if you have one of those dictionaries, you could just look it up. All right, but it says, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. So this time we're coming into is going to be the worst period of time on the earth that has ever been. Okay, see, it's going to surpass any previous bad time in history. It's going to surpass the flood, 70 AD, slavery, all of that. It's going to surpass all of that, man. So this is going to be a bad time right here. All right. But the elect, the Lord said, the Lord going to protect his elect, man. Okay. You can guarantee, that's guaranteed. You know why? Because Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai said it. So the elect is going to be good. All right. We understand they're going to be martyrs, but nevertheless, the elect is going to be good. Okay. They're going to be all right. But it says, check it out though. It says, and at that time, thy people shall be delivered. Everyone that shall be found written in the book. So in other words, the elect of the nation of Israel. And that just goes, so it says, and that goes to prove right there that salvation is only for the elect. Because who's the Lord's people? The Israelites. And at that time, but what does this mean? It says, and at that time, in time of Jacob's trouble, thy people, the elect of thy people, shall be delivered. It's like it shall be delivered. All right? How? Because in the midst of Jacob's trouble, Yahweh Shai is going to return. Okay? World War III, Jacob's trouble, all of that is synonymous with each other. It's going to be ongoing at the same time. So in the midst of all of that, Yahweh Shai is coming back. You see? And at that time, thy people shall be delivered. All right? You see? Everyone that shall be found written in the book, the elect of the nation of Israel. All right? Now, and it took a little minute to get here, but so knowing that just all hell gonna break loose, Yahweh Shai gonna return. But what happens after that? What happens after all the chaos and the hell comes? What happens after all of that? The kingdom of heaven and slavery of the nations. And this is something Christians don't get. They don't understand that it's prophecy that the nations are going to go into slavery in the kingdom of heaven, which the kingdom of heaven is going to be on earth. Okay? It's going to be an everlasting kingdom. It's going to be the kingdom of Yahweh Shai. All right, because look, one thing Yahweh Shai is going to do when he comes back is conquer. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 2. Verse 1. It says, and I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard as it were the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, come and see. All right. And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him, this white horse is talking about a chariot. White representing purity, horse representing power. All right. We just read how Shai is coming back with the chariots, man. All right. But it's referring to it as a horse or a cloud. It's talking about a chariot. All right. It says, and I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him. See? And he went forth conquering and to conquer. All right. Yeah. Yahweh Shai is going to come back. He's going to subdue these heathen nations. He's going to take their rulership. He's going to take them out of power. All right. He's literally going to conquer them. All right. He's going to, I don't know how else to say, he's going to conquer them. All right, Revelation 19, starting in verse 11. And I saw, see, it says the coming of Hamashiach. Christ just means anointed. All right. And in the Hebrew, Christ is Mashiach. So you can, you can say the coming, you can say Mashiach or Hamashiach, which Ha means the. All right, Mashiach means anointed. You're saying you can either say Mashiach, anointed, or the anointed. Mashiach or Hamashiach. However, it's talking about Yahweh Shai returning. Revelation 19, starting verse 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. All right, it says, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written. See, that's the point. And on his head were many crowns. Okay? Meaning, pretty much, he's not saying that he's going to have a bunch of crowns stacked on his head, but he's going to take over these nations. He's going to conquer them. He's going to take them out of power. All right? They're going to take rulership away from these heathen nations. You see? And this fits along with prophecy. If God loved everybody, why is the Lord going to come back and conquer? You see? You know? Why is the Lord going to come back and conquer, man? If God loves everybody, if he loves all nations and everybody is children, all simply because the Lord made them, why are they going to be conquered? Okay? Aren't we all supposed to be holding hands, kumbaya, and equal and all that? So you see, Christianity is a lie. It doesn't fit with prophecy. All right? His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. He had a name written that no man knew but he himself. That's the point. Yahushua is coming back to conquer. Okay? Now, once again, it's going to be slavery after the slavery of the heathen nations after this third, world war. So going back to Ezekiel 39, okay? Ezekiel chapter 39. Now, because we read up here, fire and it happened to Russia's army and everything. So now Ezekiel chapter 39 and verse 9, right? It says, "And they that dwell in the cities of Israel shall go forth." Wait, isn't the land of Israel going to be nuked? So what it's talking about is the elect are going to come out of the chariot. It's talking about after the elect come out of the chariot, okay? Because they're going to get delivered, as we read in Matthew 24. Yahushua going to gather his elect from all over the world, from one end of heaven to the other, right? They're going to come out of the chariot. It says, "It shall set," and they're going to be changed. By that time, they're going to have those new, incorruptible, and immortal bodies, all right? They're going to have spiritual power too. It says, "And shall," so after they come out of the chariot, and they come back down, it says, "And shall set," they're going to what? So it says, "Shall set on fire and burn the weapons, both the shields and the bucklers, the bows and the arrows and the hand staves and the spears." Right? And so what they're going to do is, well, one of the things they're going to do is that they're going to burn up all military weaponry on the earth. They're going to go around the world. They're going to burn up all military weaponry. So that you're talking about tanks, guns, all right, rifles, all of that, even nuclear weapons. Okay. And you might think, well, how you gonna do that? Wouldn't it explode? Well, when you have spiritual power, you can contain the explosion. You could destroy it without without it destroying a whole bunch of stuff around it. Just wait. You gotta wait till we get to that time, because you can't think that um they're gonna destroy destroy nuclear weapons, and then it's gonna blow up and then destroy the rest of the world. Nah, man. Some a-hole out there would try to think that, but that's not what's gonna happen. You see, because that don't fit with prophecy. It says the bows and the arrows and the hand staves and the spears. It says, "And they shall burn them with fire 7 years." Meaning, it's going. The elect are going to be burning these military weapons and stuff up for a complete amount of time. 7 means completion. Verse 10. See, listen to this. It says that, "So that they shall take no wood out of the field, neither cut down any out of the forest, for they shall burn the weapons with fire." So you're not going to need wood to make fire to burn these weapons. It's going to be with spiritual power, right? And what? And so, because it's not this context of World War III and after World War III. Okay? So what happens after World War III? "And they, the elect of Israel, shall spoil those that spoiled them and rob those that robbed them, saith the Lord Yahweh." So after this World War III, one of the major things that's going to happen is that the heathen nations are going into slavery. They're going into chains, man. They're going into slavery. This is a part of prophecy. This is in the Bible. The heathen nations are going into slavery after World War III. So you see, this is in Ezekiel the 39th chapter. It can't be changed. So after all of this hell and chaos passes, all right, as you can see, and as the brother Bakar Moss was saying when he was breaking down this chapter, right, is that pretty much after this, nuclear destruction, After all of this happens, the Israelites are going to have the upper hand. You see, then the Israelites are going to be in power. We're going to be the next ruling power after this stuff goes down. Okay, we're going to have the upper hand after this whole war and everything takes place. Esau's kingdom is going to fall. All right, we coming up next. All right, and we're going to take these nations in slavery. It's a part of Bible prophecy. It's all over the scriptures how we're going to take these nations. Even in the first 5 books of the Bible, it talks about how we're going to have nations in chains. Pretty much, we're going to dominate. Going to have rule over the nations, man. Okay, so we're gonna get down. All right, we're gonna get down, man. Okay, we're gonna take these nations in slavery. How you think we're gonna have our kingdom? They're gonna build it. They still gonna have these weak bodies, these weak mortal bodies, and they're gonna build our kingdom. We're gonna make them do it. See, and we're gonna rule them with a rod of iron. That's what Yahweh Shai said he's gonna give to his men, as was given to him, right? Revelation chapter 2, starting at verse 25, right? But this is Yahweh Shai speaking to us. It says, "But that which ye have already holds fast till I come." And that word fast means to not discard or let go. Okay, so Yahweh Shai is telling us, hold on to this truth till he returns. Hold on, keep your faith. All right. And then he said, "And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end." So you brothers out there, man, hold on to your faith and endure to the end. Lord willing, we be part of that life. You are the elect, you're going to endure to the end. Okay. You know. So no matter what, hold on to your faith. Let no man take thy crown. Okay? This truth is one of the most valuable things that you have. All right? So you got to hold on to it. All right? Because look was one of the things that's coming to you if you do. And he that overcometh to keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. Let me look at that word power, man. All right? We got to be in power real soon. Exousia. That's the Greek word for it. It says power of choice. Liberty is doing as one pleases, leave or permission. We're going to have leave or permission over these heathens. And we're going to be righteous. We're going to rule over them righteously. So we break them. All right. We're going to be doing it in righteousness. All right. It says physical and mental power, the ability or strength with which one is endowed or endued, which he either possesses or exercises, the power of authority, influence, and of right privilege, the power or rule or government, the power of him whose will and commands must be submitted to by others and obeyed. This is what Yahweh Shai is going to give to his elect men. All right, that endure to the end, Okay. It says one who possesses. It says a thing subject to authority or rule, jurisdiction. One who possesses authority, a ruler, a human magistrate, the leading and more powerful among created beings, superior to man, spiritual potentates. All right, but you get the idea. Okay, you get the idea. Let me see the etymology. All right, so let's just say it's lawful. All right, but this is what's coming. So Yahweh Shai is going to give us power over these heathen nations. All right, if we endure to the end. And guess what else is going to happen? Verse 27, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. Let's look at that word, a rod of iron. Let's look at that. A rod of iron. Look at iron. It says made of iron. Well, let me look up. This is a rod, right? Rod of iron. Strong G 4603. Sidarios. And it says, oh, this is made of iron, but it's another. Wait. I look up the right word. No, Rabdos. Salaki, Rabdos. That's what I'm trying to find. Rabdos. Right? And it says to a point, when applied to kings, that's what we're about to be, right? When applied to kings with a rod of iron indicates the severest, most rigorous rule. So we're not about to be nice to these heathens, man. We get them in power. Oh, Salaki, that was off. I meant to say when we get in power, we're not gonna be nice ruling over them. All right, a severe, rigorous rule, hardcore captivity. Okay, hardcore captivity. All right, hardcore captivity, man. It says, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers. This means beating up the heathens. So we're gonna lay hands on these heathens, man. We're gonna put some hands on them. All right. It says, even as I received of my father, because Yahweh Shai, you read about it in Psalms 2. Let's get that. Guess what? The elect are joint heirs with Yahweh Shai. So whatever he gets, the elect is gonna get. They're gonna share in it. Psalm chapter 2 and starting verse 8. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance. Right? And so, you know, so we're gonna have these things. Okay. It says in the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. So we're gonna have the whole earth, man, under our rulership. We're gonna have the whole earth. All right. Even the most beautiful and best parts of it. The Israelites are going to possess. It's going to be under Israelite possession. Verse 9. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Talking about breaking the heathens with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Okay? So you get the idea. All right. Let me get this one. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 11, starting in verse 14. I'm gonna start with verse 13 for some context, right? It says, the envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. Let me just show you that in the NLT. It's talking about the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom of Israel. All right. But NLT says, and at last the jealousy between Israel, the northern kingdom, Ephraim, Manasseh, Simeon, Gad, Reuben, Asher, Naphtali, Issachar, Zebulon. All right. If I missed any tribes, but just the northern kingdom, right? It says, and Judah, the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi in. And now, because right now, you have you still got that, rivalry between them, with us. All right. You got so-called Latinos and Native Americans that hate, so-called blacks. And you got so-called blacks that hate Latinos and Native Americans. Okay. What's going to come to pass in the kingdom? Look, that stuff going to be at an end. All right. It's already coming, start coming to end, start with the elect now. You got brothers in the camp, all right, the different tribes that get along with each other. All right. It says they will not be rivals anymore. So this is coming. Right? So now, continuing on verse 14, it says, but they shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines toward the west. All right, and the Philistines talking about Hamites that go back, it's talking about Hamites whose line goes back to Mizraim, which is the descendant of Ham. Okay, so talking about certain Hamites, right? It says they shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines toward the west. They shall spoil them of the east together. And as Apostle Har said, you can't be in the west, east at the same time. So it's talking about the Israelites are going to pretty much dominate the whole world. Okay, a world takeover. It says they shall lay their hand upon Edom and upon and they shall lay their hand upon Edom and Moab. Edom is so-called white men, so-called white people in Moab, so-called Chinese. So it's a part of prophecy. It's not this a prophetic chapter. All right. So it's prophecy that we're going to have our hands on them. It says, and the children of Ammon, which is the so-called Japanese, shall obey them. So we're going to have these nations under our control and influence. We're going to have them in slavery. Okay. And they're going to obey us. You see? So it's part of prophecy, man, that these things are going to happen. Okay. We're going to have these nations in slavery. We're going to have them under our, our rule. Right. But, let me get something else I wanted to get to. Salakia. I'll get this one. Probably end with this. Psalm 149. Remember, after Yahweh Shah comes back, then you know we're gonna have these. It's like then we're gonna rule. And let me get this because this is what we're looking for. Actually, let me get this. 2 Peter 3:13. Right, and it says, "Nevertheless, we, according to His promise, look for new heavens, meaning a new rulership, and a new earth, a refreshed planet Earth, because in the kingdom of heaven, the earth is going to go back to the way it was during the Garden of Eden. The earth's going to get rejuvenated, ain't going to be no more dirt, dirty rivers. There's going to be none of, polluted air and all of that. It's going to go back to the way it was. It's going to be beautiful again. And guess what? And it's going to happen under the rulership of Yahweh Shai. All right. And in Yahweh Shai's kingdom, what it says, wherein dwelleth righteousness. So this going to be a righteous rulership. Ain't no more wickedness going to take place over the world. And guess what? So when that happens, right? It's Proverbs 29:2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. So the world is going to rejoice when the Israelites finally get in power. When we get in power, we're going to rule righteously, and the world is going to rejoice. It says, but when the wicked bears rule, which is the so-called white man, Malachi 1:4, the people mourn. All right. So the people, right, are currently mourning. The earth is in a whole state of mourning right now. People depressed. The animals is the nature is suffering. Okay, the whole world, man, is just mourning, man. Okay, it's in a state of mourning. People, are suicidal, all of that. All right, under the rulership of the wicked. You see, when the righteous are in authority, it's basically the complete opposite, man. Okay, so this is what's coming, and it's going to affect the whole world, the whole wide world. All right. It's going to be a righteous kingdom. The law, statutes, commandments are going to be implemented across the whole world. Okay? When we implement meaning put into effect. All right? So it's gonna be a righteous rulership, man. Okay? The whole world gonna be at peace, man. Okay? We're gonna have a beautiful kingdom. See, so after this hell, right? Once again, it's gonna go back to the way it was during the Garden of Eden. And in 2 Ezra 6, it talks about the way it was during that time. 2 Ezra chapter 6. And starting at verse 42. It says, upon the third day, thou didst command that the waters should be gathered in the seventh part of the earth. 6 parts hast thou dried up and kept them to the intent that of these and kept them to the intent that of these some being planted of the Most High and tilled might serve thee. For as soon as thy word went forth, the work was made. For immediately there was great and innumerable fruit, and many and diverse meaning different pleasures for the taste, and flowers of unchangeable color, and odors of wonderful smell. And this was done the third day. So you could just imagine how this looked. Okay, you can just imagine how this smelled, the fruits and everything, and the flower. I mean, smell how the flowers smell, different colors and all of that, man. All right, I believe when type in Garden of Eden, because the thing is, the Garden of Eden, all right, the scripture said garden eastward in Eden, and Eden is talking about the whole world. Okay, that Eden is the real name of the earth. That's the true name of the earth. All right, which basically means paradise. Okay, and it said a garden eastward in Eden. That's the fertile crescent. All right, which is around like the land of Israel. Okay, so it's just a picture, but you can just see how. And don't mind, you know, Esau right there. Don't mind that, But just look at the different things, you just get like somewhat of an idea. This probably wasn't even close. All right, but you see the animals and everything and all of that, man. All right, it's gonna be peaceful, man. And speaking about the animals in our kingdom, the animals gonna get along. I was just getting into this uh before the lesson. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 11, starting in verse 6 says, "The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together, and a little child shall lead them." See, a little. So you're gonna have these different things, these different animals, you know, in the kingdom. They're gonna be, pretty much at peace with each other. All right, and just imagine a little Jake baby, leading them. Verse 7, literally leading them. Okay, like as the brother was saying, breaking it down. In the palace and looking out the window at your child, leading them. For example, imagine like a lion or something. Two lions, following behind him. I'll imagine, like a little Jake baby, with some snakes behind him, following, or it could just be different animals, but following them, right? It says in the cow and the bear shall feed, the young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox. Okay. It says, um, and the sucking child shall play on the hole of the asp, and the weaned child shall put his hand on the cockatrice den. So our children will be playing with snakes and stuff in the kingdom. Verse 9. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain. So the animals ain't even gonna hurt us. All right. That this describes a time of peace, man. Okay. You see as the scriptures say, all right, let's get it. Ecclesiastes 3. In verse 1, this is a time for everything. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. Jump down to like verse 8. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. And right now we're in a time of war. But after this is going to follow a time of peace. All right. See, right now we're in a time of war. When Yahweh Shah comes back, sets everything up right. It's going to be a time of peace forevermore. Forevermore, too. Okay? Because his kingdom is never going to fall. Daniel 2 and 44 says, and in the day, see, it says the divine kingdom. And then let me look at that word divine. All right? But yeah, the earth is going to go back to the way it was during the Garden of Eden. Things are going to be beautiful again. Okay? Right now, this devil is destroying the world, man. All right? This devil is destroying the world. All right? But look at that word divine. Divine. It says of, from, or like God, or a God. Okay? Yeah. This is a rulership, right? That the Lord is going to set up. Daniel 2 and 44, and in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. See, this is the kingdom Yahweh Shai is coming with, which is also known as the throne of David. It says, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. Okay? Jumping ahead to Daniel chapter 7. All right, Daniel chapter 7. And yeah. It also talks about slavery as well. Daniel chapter 7, starting in verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down. We're talking about Yahweh Shai comes back and takes out the heathen rulerships on the earth. It says, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was, an Ancient of Days is the Heavenly Father Yahweh, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. Right? Because the Heavenly Father, his hair is like wool. So-called black people have hair like wool, because he's a so-called black man. It says his throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels is burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 before him. The judgment was set, and the books were open. I beheld then because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake, which the horn talking about America. It says, I beheld till even the beast was slain and his body destroyed, because America is going to be destroyed. It says, given to the burning flame, that nuclear destruction that's coming. Verse 12, as concerning the rest of the beasts, talking about the other heathen nations, they had their dominion taken away. All right. It says, yet their lives were prolonged for a season in time. So ultimately, these heathen nations, they're going to go into slavery. Okay. But they're not going to be destroyed like Esau is. Okay. But they're still going to go into slavery, though. All right. In the kingdom for a period of 1,000 years. Verse 13, I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man, Yahushua, came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him, and there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. Okay? Jumping down to verse 27. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. And all the nations are going to serve and obey Yahushua. Elect the joint heirs with Yahushua. So all the nations are going to serve and obey Yahushua and his elect. Okay? You know, we're going to have these nations in slavery, man. All right? Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. All right? Something else is going to get it. Okay? And the thing is, once again, with this, peaceful kingdom, hey, Yahushua was King Solomon, man. All right? Let me get this 40 years. Let me just 40 years. All right, so this is under King Solomon, right? Which was Yahushua. And the thing is, all right, Yahushua is also known as the Prince of Peace, right? You know, and Yahushua's kingdom is going to be complete peace for Israel. All right. But Yahushua, one of his past reincarnations, was King Solomon, and Solomon in the Hebrew is Shalamah, which means peace. All right, but it says here, according to the Bible, King Solomon reigned for 40 years, during which time Israel experienced a period of great peace and prosperity, often referred to as the Golden Age of Israel. This is why 40 years of peace under Solomon is a phrase used to describe this era of stability and unity under his rule. Yeah, and under King Solomon, all the nation of Israel, all 12 tribes were together. Okay? All 12 tribes were together, man. And it was 40 years of peace and prosperity for us. All right. And that was just a glimpse of the king of the kingdom of heaven. So we experienced since King Solomon was Yahushua, look, man, put A and B together. We experienced 40 years of peace under King Solomon. All right. You know, what and King Solomon was Yahushua in one of his past reincarnations. What type of peace you think we're gonna have when Yahushua comes back and really sets up his kingdom on earth? Because his kingdom had passed. It's King Solomon. To this time, is King Solomon that passed? All right. So when Yahushua comes back and sets up his kingdom, his everlasting kingdom, what type of peace you think we're gonna have? All right. Now under here it says key points about Solomon's reign. The book of Kings in the Old Testament details Solomon's reign and mentions the 40-year period of peace, wisdom, and prosperity. Solomon is renowned for his wisdom, which the Most High granted him, allowing him to rule with great insight and leading to economic flourishing for Israel. Significance of peace. During Solomon's reign, neighbor nations did not actively oppose Israel, contributing to a time of relative peace. Okay? During the 40 years that Solomon ruled as king of Israel, there was peace and unity throughout his vast domain. At the beginning of his reign, Solomon loved the Most High, the God or power of Israel, and covenanted with God that he would walk in obedience throughout his administration of king of Israel. All right. So we were doing good. All right. Under King Solomon was in our rulership. We did a little bit of this. And it wasn't Solomon looked like that, man. All right. Solomon was a so-called black man. He's from the tribe of Judah. Okay. You know. Um. Let me see. Slovakia. Okay, going to the wealth part. You know, Jake, you gotta read about wealth. All right. Wealth. It says, according to the Hebrew Bible, the ancient kingdom of Israel gained its highest splendor and wealth during Solomon's reign of 40 years. In a single year, according to 1 Kings 10 and 14, Solomon collected tribute amounting to 666 talents, which is 18,125 kilograms of gold. Let me look that up. All right. And there's a reason I look getting this. Okay. How many pounds is 18,125 kg? That is 39,958 pounds. And this is talking about of gold. Okay. It says Solomon is described as surrounding himself with all the luxuries and the grandeur of an Eastern monarch, and his government prospered. He entered into alliance with Hiram I, king of Tyre, who in many ways greatly assisted him in his numerous undertakings. Okay. You know, he had many women. So, hey, look. So in the kingdom, man, we're gonna have what? All right. In the kingdom, man, we're gonna have all. You know, man, we're gonna have wealth. We're gonna have wives and all of that. Look, wives and concubines. According to the biblical account, Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines. That was women. The wives were described as foreign princesses, including Pharaoh's daughter and women of Moab, Ammon, Edom, Sidon, and the Hittites. His marriage to Pharaoh's daughter, all right, etc. Okay, but you get the idea. All right. So this is coming, man. All right. So just imagine when we really get in power forevermore. All right. And especially the 144,000, man. You know, just wait, man. Hey, what did Yahweh Shai say? All right. What did he say? This is Book of Matthew, chapter 19, starting at verse 27. Right. It says the disciples' reward. Then answered Peter and said unto him, behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? Verse 28. And by the way, real quick, as a side note, you know, we just read about King Solomon and everything. All right. That's why in Acts, the first chapter, the apostles asked him. It says, when they, that's the point. Acts 1 and 6. When they therefore were come together, the apostles, asked of him, they asked Yahweh Shai, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel? See? Restore again the kingdom of Israel. Okay? Because they remember, that 40 years of peace under King Solomon. They remember that rulership under pretty much, King David, King Solomon, So they were asking Yahweh Shai after he rose, are you at this time, are you going to restore that kingdom to Israel? See, it says to Israel. All right. The kingdom is only for Israel. Why did the apostles ask that? It's only for Israel. You see? So look, it is what it is. There ain't no changing that. All right. But there was something else I was going to get. Man. Oh yeah. Matthew chapter 19, starting verse 27. Then answered Peter and said unto him, behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? What are we going, so Peter asked him, like, we're following you, so what are we going to get? Verse 28, and Yahweh Shai said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me, in every generation when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. All right. So this is talking about in the kingdom. All right. The apostles going to sit on 12 thrones, judging. They're going to sit on thrones, judging, and so the rest of the 144,000 going to be sitting on thrones. Okay. Judging. Verse 29. And everyone that hath forsaken houses or brothers or sisters or father or mother or wife or children or lands for my name's sake shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. So in the kingdom, We're gonna have, man, we're gonna have a lot. All right. Lord willing, we endure to the end. That's the point. You want to endure to the end. Okay. So, that's pretty much it, man. So tying it all in together. All right. At the you know, pretty much this chaos is gonna come, but after this comes slavery of the heathen and the kingdom of Israel, man, to last forever, which is gonna be a kingdom, a righteous kingdom of the Yahweh Shai and the elect. All right, forevermore. So with that, giving all the praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Chakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, ever well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect. Shalom to the elect.